I thought it was fake, but it's really not.
What's some AI slop?
It looked like AI slop because it would be like, how could this actually be happening? And could this really be real? I'm talking about Batman.
Batman, I'm Batman.
Have you heard about Batman in Mexico?
Of course I have.
Oh, gosh. What do you think about him?
Well, obviously he's breaking the law by what he's doing.
Yes.
But it's hilarious. And the people that he's doing it to are getting what they deserve.
Well, so we have to explain what he's doing. Okay, so there's this guy wearing a Batman mask in Mexico. And when motorcycles are stolen, he gets like tips on who actually stole the motorcycles. And then he hunts down the people who actually stole the motorcycles. And then he duct tapes them to light poles.
And puts signs above their head describing what they did.
Yes.
And then parks the motorcycle that they stole right next to them.
Okay.
He's Batman.
And then he also puts cat whiskers on them.
That's a bit of he's taking some liberties with the Batman character in that sense.
Well, I've gotten so many people that have sent me notes saying, is this real? Because, if there's anybody in the world that we believe, it's you, Kim Komando.
Oh.
Yes.
That's so nice.
And so I did some investigation and it is real.
100% true. And he's going to get caught, and he's the one who's going to go to jail, and people are going to keep stealing motorcycles.
But there's an angle to this story that a lot of people are not covering. Now, legally, the victims that are taped to the thieves that are like duct taped to the poles are victims.
They're being kidnapped.
Yes. And so the police are not so happy about this.
Of course not. But that's the actual plot of the real Batman movies, is that the police don't like the fact that he's a vigilante. It's vigilante justice. He's doing the right thing, but he's going about the wrong way of doing it.
And so now the cops are trying to track him down. But he's posting all these pictures.
They should check the local caves. That's usually where Batman hangs out, in the Bat Cave.
Where's Robin?
Yeah, we need a Robin. He definitely needs a Robin. He'd go super viral.
So, but every picture has hidden traces, right? Like you have the EXIF data.
Okay.
Of course, the day and the time and any type of meta like data that may be behind it. And even though the guy's in a mask, they're going to find him.
Oh, of course they are.
There, because there's so many cameras that are everywhere. I mean, he wanted to go viral, but he might just go to trial.
He wanted to go viral, but he just might go to trial.
Did you get that?
Is that a play on words?
It was a play on words. And so what do you think he drinks?
I don't know. What does he drink?
Vigilante.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that happy note. Welcome. I'm Kim Komando, America's beloved digital goddess, here with you once again. And you just tapped into the best, the biggest, the most awesomest award-winning show about all things digital. And you can find us on over 425 top stations from coast to coast. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And joining me, of course, is Andrew Babinski, our co-host, and you can find us on YouTube.
YouTube.com/Kim Komando. Go and subscribe. We put a lot of content up there. What do they call it? Shorts on YouTube?
Shorts, reels and shorts.
Yeah, reels and shorts. And anytime, if you subscribe, anytime we put up something new, you'll get a notification so you don't have to go and search it out. And comment, like, and share. It helps the channel and helps us grow.
And we would love you for that.
Please.
Please.
It's the only thing we're asking for this holiday season.
It's July.
Yeah, it's 4th of July. It kicks off the holiday season.
It does. It does. I thought you meant because today's my birthday.
Today's not your birthday.
It is, 100%.
July 4th is your birthday?
July 1st.
Oh, I didn't know we were telling people this was pre-recorded.
Oh, well, it's not hard to figure out.
Happy birthday, Kim.
I mean, we're doing a holiday version because, even we get to take some time off every once in a while.
Absolutely true.
And I tried to get the whole team to work on July 4th, and they kind of went, well, it's a national holiday.
Nah, I guess there's that.
It doesn't happen. All right, here are some things that you need to know about. And this comes to us from San Diego. And you see, a woman was caught spying on her ex-husband using the Ring camera.
You give me a face like this is a bad thing.
Well, she shouldn't. Well, they're exes. So she signed into the Ring camera. So she was tracking her ex.
Right. But that's your responsibility. If you share credentials with someone, that you change the password.
You should know that.
Right.
And you should do that. But
you have to have expectations that people, like when I got divorced, I went and changed all my bank passwords.
Yes.
Because I don't want her to have access to it anymore.
Yeah, and the same thing like with your cell account or your streaming or whatever it may be.
Exactly.
And then your garage door opener.
That actually is funny. The girls were watching Love Island on Peacock.
I know somebody who just got thrown off of Love Island.
You know the person?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. And
Ian went out with her. That's
oh,
how I knew.
okay.
Yeah. She's a hottie.
And their mom's like, "How are you watching that? We canceled Peacock." And they're like, "Oh, we're using your ex-boyfriend's account." And she's like, "Log out of that right now."
Because he's like, God, look at her. She's watching Love Island. She must really miss me.
She must. She's still
That's
single.
it. So the other thing too is that you have to think of the router. A lot of people miss that. Is that they change all the passwords for all the smart stuff.
Right.
And then they don't do the router. When the router has something called remote access, and that can be turned on. And so if you have remote access turned on, someone can just go right through the router. And if it's a bad breakup, I would get a brand new router.
You know what's funny is I didn't change the router password.
Oh, you didn't?
To this day. Because I have a mesh network and I just bring the network with me wherever I go.
That's it.
I know. I have something to do this afternoon.
There you go. Let's see. This is a horrifying thought. 2 close calls in 2 days. A JetBlue pilot hit a drone at 3,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
And it was minutes from landing at JFK from Orlando, 150 folks on board. We actually have the audio. Take a listen.
1-3 left. And just quickly, I couldn't talk to approach, but we collided with a drone back there in the turn as we're coming to assault. Just wanted to pass that to you.
You said you collided?
Yep, it hit us right above the cockpit.
Okay. Crazy, isn't it?
Just want to let you know. That's what he's saying. Thank goodness a plane can get hit by a drone and they're just like nonchalantly just want to let you know.
Good thing it didn't go in the engine.
Right. We'd had another Sully Sullenberg situation.
Been awful. Then we had a United Airlines Boeing 737 had to make an emergency maneuver. It came within feet of a drone going down to Newark at 3,500 feet. And that plane had 111 people on board. So these are definitely not fender benders.
No.
Okay. So if you have a drone, you're actually restricted from flying it above 400 feet. But what happened is DJI is the world's biggest drone maker on Earth. Okay. And a little over a year ago, they changed their programming in the drone. So it used to be that if you were going towards an airport or say an NFL stadium, is that the drone would get a little bit close to it, a little bit high, and then it would just stop.
Because it knows.
It's a
It
restricted
basically
area.
had a digital fence around
geofence,
these-
exactly. Okay, well, they took that off. I'm not really quite sure why. But now if you want to get close to an airport or get close to a stadium, it just puts up like a little thing that goes, uh-oh. And then you hit the button to bypass. I don't think it says uh-oh, but you hit the button bypass, and then you can just go wherever you want.
Most people won't do that, though. I mean, I'm sure they won't bypass that at all.
Now, you're supposed to register your drone. And flying a drone near an airport is a federal crime, which means you could go to jail.
But that's why people don't register them,
Exactly.
so they don't get caught.
Yeah.
What drone? I don't know what you're talking about.
But every drone has a number on it. So it could eventually maybe be traced back.
Maybe.
Maybe. This is something that I found, and I've been sharing it with people in my inner circle, and they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that exists. So do you ever go to Zillow and just look at a house and go, wow, I wonder what it would be like to live in that house?
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Okay. I do too.
We're looking in Orlando, Florida for an investment property right now.
you?
So we're all over Zillow and Redfin and all that stuff.
Why Orlando?
Disney World.
So this way you could stay there?
Right. We could be there when we wanted and rent it out when we don't. And, it's a tourist destination. I think it's like the number one. Americans travel to places in 2026. It's number 2
Oh, is it?
behind Honolulu.
Yeah. Well, I would buy in Honolulu over Orlando.
The prices are a bit different there, Kim.
Just a little bit. Well, when you're house shopping now, this is really something, and you should do this. Is that instead of going to Zillow, go to homes.com.
Okay.
And this is not a commercial for homes.com. This is just something that I found. So you find a house, you scroll all the way to the bottom, past where it says taxes and purchase history and whether it's in a flood zone or anything like that. And then that's where you can open up property history. And inside there, you have mortgage history.
Okay.
So you can look at mortgages that people have on these homes. So if they're sitting there with a house that they bought in 2022 or 2023 with maybe an 8% interest rate, that they may be more willing to sell than somebody who's sitting there with a 2% interest rate.
Just a bargaining chip when it comes to negotiations.
Yes. And so the people are showing, well, how can that be? I mean, isn't that private information? No, it's all public information.
Sure. Yeah. It's a public land sale.
But what's nice is that you can go in there and you can see exactly, and it's legit. I mean, so you see how much they owe. And, I ran across this because in my old neighborhood, you remember my old house? Mm-hmm. There was a house in there that sold for this crazy amount. I mean, and Ian's like, I don't know how they got so much money for that house. And I don't know. And then I'm like, I wonder what kind of mortgage they have. So I went to homes.com, I scrolled down, and they have a 100% mortgage on this house at 7% interest.
Wait, this information is up there for every home, not just ones for sale?
For every home.
Every single house on planet Earth.
Well, I can't say every single one.
Okay.
But every single one that I've looked at. I
But
mean,
my home, which hasn't been on the market in 14 years.
you should look it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but if you're looking for a house, I think that's a good bargaining chip.
Oh, absolutely.
Because now you know exactly what they're going, whether they have no mortgage.
If they're desperate or not.
Yes. You could be like, like a detective in real estate, like a Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, that was cute. I'm not going to say it was funny. It was cute.
Okay. So we always talk about the new scams that are going around. And the catfishing. So like we have the investment scams with Elon Musk, the crypto scams. Or,
Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise and the dating scams.
yeah, whoever it is. And there's always going to be some there. Like Mr. Wonderful is now pitching. I saw a scam that he was pitching like some AI data center, which, he is in real life, but not the one that, where he looks like
And
he's
then the
an
one
asshole.
I fell for.
Exactly.
Gordon Ramsay and his pans.
That
Pots
was-
and pans.
What was going on with that?
I thought I was dumbfounded that it was only $19, but I'm sure the Ambien had something to do with it.
But now we have catfishing and phishing scams that are using flowers. What?
Why?
Flowers. So we're using, look at these pictures. AI generated pictures of exotic flowers that don't exist.
Okay.
Okay. 404 Media exposed it. Now explain what these flowers look like.
Well, they're huge. It's like a sunflower if the petals were multiplied by 50.
Looks like Teletubbies. to
And
me.
they're, that is Tinky Winky, you're right. And they're multiple colors. They're purple and reds.
Now look at the size of this woman's head as compared to the size of the flower.
Oh, yeah, that's ginormous.
So the flower has to be at least 8 feet circumference, 8 feet wide, 8 feet, whatever. So it's 8 feet.
It's 8 feet tall. The
8 feet,
probably
yes.
bloom of the flowers, I'm going to say 4 feet wide.
Okay, which is a fabulous photo. I mean, it's just amazing
It's
that they
fake,
could get that.
right?
Oh,
It's fake.
It's all fake. It's all
Yeah.
fake. So if you are on social media and you see like these beautiful flowers and you're like, I would love to have those. And of course, then you're going to have to pay to have the seeds sent to you.
Of course, you got to buy something.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. And but you're not going to get the AI flower.
No?
No.
What are they at least sending out a real seed? Or is it just straight stealing from you?
They're just stealing from
I
you.
would love if they just sent out and you planted it and it was like a bush or fern.
Or like a tulip, a little sunflower.
Maybe I'm not watering this correctly. It's not 8 feet tall.
I really wanted that purple flower, though. I think that'd be so beautiful.
The scientists need to get to work and get something genetically modified to produce that. They'd sell them like hotcakes.
And speaking of AI slop, we now have cats that are lounging in bubble baths that are going viral. You have blowing bubbles from the cats.
So I saw a report. I want to know if you agree with this. Is that by and large, a majority of Americans are sick of artificial intelligence on social media and in advertising. Are you finding that to be the case?
Me personally?
No, where you're getting responses from people who read the newsletter.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they are. And I think that's where authenticity is really going to come
Okay.
to play.
But
And
we're only a couple years in. The technology just got to where it is, where it's amazing, and people are already done with it.
well, because maybe it's just our generation, because we grew up with people.
Right.
Okay. So if you look at the alpha generation, that they are truly growing up with AI all over, that this may just be part of, acceptance.
Okay.
and they're used to it, and they realize that not everything is true. But see, where we're like, oh wait, that's not true. I want to know. I want to really know if that's true. I want to see if that's true. And like, so we had the monkey situation. Do you remember about the monkeys in St. Louis?
No.
Okay, so there were monkeys running around. There's one right there, a little furry monkey, which is, it's a couple of feet tall, and
It's adorable.
because the AI can crank out these hyper realistic animals. And so there were 4 of these monkeys, quote unquote, going around St. Louis.
But none of it was real?
No, but they actually put out a whole big search and rescue for these monkeys because, they say like it's dangerous, it's illegal to have these monkeys in St. Louis, but it was all AI.
No, the police, the authorities don't even know to think, stop and go, maybe this is fake.
Well, eventually they did. They called off the search.
Good.
But the monkeys, the poor monkeys.
I'm waiting for it now.
I have no monkey joke.
You have nothing, no punchline. That's monkey business. Just monkeying around.
I was gonna say monkey business.
Oh, okay. I knew it was
You
coming.
just blew it
Sorry.
for me. That was gonna be a good one too. So real quick,
Yeah.
I saw this viral video about using Legos to hold your cords on your desk.
Okay.
And here, we're gonna play it. You have to
see it.
describe what's happening.
Putting glue on a 2x4, then putting glue on a bigger one, putting a Lego guys on it. Do you have to have the Lego guys?
Yep, because look what happens.
Oh, they hold the cords.
Yeah, that's right. No fancy engineering, just IT support. Batman holds your USB cable. Stormtrooper keeps your mouse wire from swan diving behind the desk. I hate when that happens. And even the tiny little construction guy finally got a job.
The minifigs are holding all the cables.
I love that. All right. So it's the big 4th of July weekend, right? And have you ever seen a drone show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's the most amazing part of a drone show to you?
Well, the fact, how they are so synced together, and they'll transition from, I think the one I saw was a Disney one. So it like went from Mickey and then within just like, it seems like a fail swoop, it becomes a totally different image.
Okay, so joining us is Preston Ward, and he's the chief pilot for Sky Elements. I'm so excited to have him here. I'm so geeked out over this stuff. I really am. Okay, they've set 17 Guinness World Records, finished 3rd on America's Got Talent with Simon Cowell's Golden Buzzer, and last 4th of July, they flew about 22 shows in a single night, 60% of every drone show in America. Preston, gosh, that's so impressive.
I've seen them on AGT.
Appreciate you guys having me. Happy to be here. It is a busy week for us this week.
So my first question for you is, in plain English, how does a swarm that big, of how many drones, I don't know, that we can see on the screen right now, how do they not bump into each other?
So the way that it works is all the drones are pre-animated. So we have a team of animators that design the shows. So they come from like the video game animation industry or the movie industry. And each one of those drones is hand animated in between the different formations so that they don't hit each other, so that they can have that perfect show, get that image perfect. It's really, the secret is just pre-programmed flights and then a little bit of sophisticated GPS that keeps them flying on that flight path so they don't deviate.
So you don't have to just say, here's a picture of, Kim, and they automatically know where to go. You have to hand place every single one in the sky?
That's correct. That's correct. Still a very manual process. And depending on the size of the show, the animator might spend between 40 hours on a smaller show to several hundred hours on a larger show to get everything right and ready to go to fly.
And so when you say larger show, is that 1,000 drones or more than that?
We've done shows that are several thousand. So most of our 4th of July shows are in the 100 to 300 drone range. I'm at one tonight that's 2,500. That's going to be the biggest one we do this 4th of July. We have several thousand drone shows happening the 4th of July as well. But usually over 1,000 is going to be a bigger show. Those are still kind of rare. So any chance you can see one of those larger shows, definitely check it out.
So now I was talking about the drone show I saw where the pictures would just seamlessly go from one to the other. Does that mean that there are drones flying in the sky that don't have any lights turned on and they turn on at a separate time to create a next picture?
It depends. You can do it a couple of ways. So if we have 500 drones, sometimes we want to make it look like there's no time in between images, and we'll basically make two 250 drone shows. That way they can just turn on when the other ones turn off, and then they're rearranging in the background. Or most of the shows, you're going to have that transition where they go from that first image, then they're going to have some sort of twinkle lights, reform another image in about 15, 20 seconds, give you your next image, and keep going on with the show.
Now, what happens if a gust of wind comes along?
Fortunately, our drones can handle some pretty serious wind. I think out of the 5,000 or so drones we've done, or shows we've done, we've only ever canceled maybe 5 to 7 because of wind. Usually our biggest enemy when it comes to weather is rain and then fog. Fog is the one that gets us the most because normally we can work around getting wet a little bit.
And then what about battery life?
So most drone shows are going to be between 10 and 12 minutes due to battery life. And we've done things like one of the Guinness World Records we have is we've done the longest drone show that was a 30-minute drone show that was straight animations. And we used multiple fleets of drones to extend that show where the audience didn't realize that we were sending up other drones to replace the ones that are there. But most of our shows this 4th are going to be between that 10 and 12-minute mark.
What's the big finale?
The big finale is actually the first one we're doing. So that we have a special one tonight in my hometown. It's 2,500 drones, and we actually have 100 of those drones equipped with pyrotechnics on the drone.
Oh, that's
Wow,
cool.
that's awesome. That's great.
It took me 2.5 years working with the FAA to get that approved a couple of years ago. So it took 2.5, and we've been doing shows with pyrotechnics since 2024, and it just adds something extra special. And tonight, the final image we're doing in this show is going to be a giant eagle to celebrate the 250th of America.
Fabulous.
And there's going to be waterfalls on the wings. So it's going to have gold waterfalls coming off the wings, and it's going to be just a truly spectacular moment.
Let's talk about money for just a sec. Because I know years ago I had a party for my mom, a birthday party for her, and I bought fireworks. And they said to me they came over and they said, what kind of fireworks do you want? I'm like, how long do you want the fireworks show? I'm like, 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then they said, well, it's $3,000 a minute. I'm like, okay.
2 minutes.
Well, can I get 30 seconds?
Right. Can you just get a big projector and show an old fireworks show?
And so how does that cost compared to a drone show, Preston?
It depends on where it is in the country. That $3,000 a minute mark for fireworks is probably, somewhere in California or more restrictive. I actually am a licensed pyrotechnician in Texas, so when we did big shows, it was about $1,500 a minute. Drone shows are priced by the drone, so depending on how big it is, how complex it's going to be, most of our shows range in about the $150 to $200 per drone mark throughout the year. 4th of July is a little bit of a premium just because there's so much demand, and we only have so many drones to try to make so many shows happen.
So what does the future of drone shows look like? What's the next step in technology?
I really think the next step in technology is going to be merging different mediums. We've done it with pyrotechnics on the drones, incorporating other elements that you see, whether it's coordinated fireworks on the ground, whether it's projection mapping, all those things can come in and just really, really wow the audience and make a very, very special show. So I think, the battery life is what it is. It's not going to just magically get better overnight. So we have to figure out how do we make that experience for that limited time we have as impactful and as special as we can.
So is there a situation where you were like, oh gosh, you were trying to pull something off and it just failed miserably?
Fortunately for us, we've done so many shows. I can look at a site and tell you if it's a good site or a bad site. Sometimes people think that if it's a good site might be the top of a parking garage. Well, that's probably going to have some magnetic interference issues that you're going to have to figure out how to overcome. And fortunately, my team and us, we've done enough of these that we don't have total failures. We don't have those issues where we get ourselves into a situation where we end up on a spot and we're like, we cannot make this work. We have the best in the business. We do so many shows that we have great support team, great training, and we all come together to make sure those shows go up on time and everybody has just a fantastic experience.
So if there's one more question, because I know you have to go, Preston, but I'm so geeked out about this. It's like, I want to go to Texas right now to come see the show. If there's one thing that can distinguish like an average drone show from one of your shows, what should somebody watching a drone show look for specifically?
It's the quality of the animation. If you see a lot of drone shows, what they might do is have a static image that just pans left and right. So if it's the image of an eagle that's just panning left and right, that's just really not a great experience. But if you have an image of an eagle and it's flapping its wings, it's flying, it's moving, those animated elements are really what adds to a drone show. And that's one thing our team just specializes in that's just so great. They really take the pride in every show, no matter the size. They want to make it as amazing and spectacular as they can.
So anybody who's watching or listening right now, where are you on? Are you posting these videos on TikTok or Instagram, and where would they find them?
We post a lot of our videos on Instagram and then also our YouTube channel. We post some long-form stuff on there. So Sky Limits Drones on both those platforms. If they want to see some behind-the-scenes videos, some of our amazing shows, we're going to have a big sizzle reel after the 4th of July. We're doing over 150 shows all over the country this week. We're just so excited to be a part of so many community celebrations.
That is amazing.
It's really cool.
That is so cool. Preston, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Gosh, I would love to go behind the scenes of, to be like start to finish to see how they actually do
I don't know. I don't want the magic ruined.
Oh, really?
I just want to sit there and watch. And I really, like you said, I want to get on a plane and go to Texas right now because I want to see this show.
I want to see the eagle with the water going over, the waterfall streaming over.
That'd be so cool.
It'll be on their social.
Oh.
It was Sky Element Drones is the one that's where you
on
want to check
YouTube.
it. On YouTube. That's where you want to go. All right, let's talk about AI. Because if you put AI slop in, you're going to get AI slop out.
Sure.
So in our Splash of AI newsletter, which comes out every Thursday, I talked about giving AI a task. But what you want to do is two things. You want it to have it interview you as a consultant. So you give it a task, maybe do a marketing plan. And then you say, be my marketing consultant and ask me a whole bunch of questions so that this way we can come up with that marketing plan together. And then after you answer all these questions and then it comes up with the marketing plan, this is the clincher. You want to say, review this as someone smarter, more experienced, and more skeptical than me and tell me what I'm missing.
And then you just fill in those gaps. You fix those mistakes
Yes.
if there's anything missing.
I did that for a plan that I'm working on. I can't say anything because I'm under NDA.
Okay.
But it's something really huge that we're going to be announcing in a few weeks. And I was working on the marketing plan for that. And I said, be the smartest person. Okay. Comes back and says, well, Kim, because, it says, you're pretty smart.
Of course. It's got to suck up.
Okay.
Please keep paying this bill.
It says, you're pretty smart. But I'm going to be Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and Jeff Bezos right now and tell you what you're missing. Oh my gosh. It was so smart.
But why wouldn't it know to fill in those holes in the first place? It has to be told what to do?
I guess, yes.
All right.
Yeah. So you want to say, be the smartest person around, and then you'll get some amazing stuff back. Hey, listen, if you're going to be out doing some stargazing this week, there's a free app called Skyview Lite and another one called Stellarium. And basically what they do is that you just aim your phone at stars, planets, constellations, even the ISS sailing overhead, no telescope, no subscription, and then you can see exactly what the stars are.
How does it even know?
It's smart.
Oh, okay.
It knows. But the other thing too is that if you if you point your phone at the ground, it'll show you the stars that are on the other side of the planet.
That's creepy.
I know, but it amazes the kids. Why didn't the dog star laugh at my joke?
I don't know why.
It was too serious. Okay, so we have John and Jack joining us. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for being here with us. An incredible story that has to do with a Tesla and a hospital visit. So we have John and Jack with us. And so you were just driving down the road, minding your own business in your Tesla, and suddenly you didn't feel that well.
Yes, that's right. I was headed down the road, and I live in Atlanta, so I was going to Birmingham, Alabama, and I was probably about 15 minutes into my drive, and I started to have some chest pain. It was like if you can imagine heartburn, but it was really bad. And I'd been having some heartburn issues over the last couple of days, and I was just thinking, I just have some heartburn. Well, I didn't realize I was having a heart attack. And so once I got pretty much 20 minutes down the road, I realized that I was having a serious problem.
Okay.
And I knew I was having a problem because I started to feel, the pain going up your arms.
Oh, yeah. So that was indigestion. It's a sign of heart issues. That's for sure. And then, so then you had pain going down, and then up your shoulder. Did you have pain in your jaw as well?
No, I did not. I never had pain in my jaw or back or anything like that. It was just heartburn and arms.
And then did you pull over?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I was driving my Tesla, and I'm if you know anything about Teslas, when you're using the full self-driving autopilot, it actually keeps statistics on how often you use it. So I'm like a 98% user. There's a few of those out there that use it all the time. It's like a robo-taxi for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in full self-driving. And so luckily, being in full self-driving, I made the phone call to my son because I wanted to see if he could help me out, because I needed to get to Birmingham. I knew I was having a problem. I didn't want to admit to myself, and I still don't to this day, that I was having a heart attack. So I gave him a phone call, and I said, "Hey, Jack." And luckily, my 20-year-old college student picked up the phone at 4 o'clock in the morning. For me, it was 3 o'clock in the morning for him.
Right. And then what did he do?
What did you do, Jack?
Yes, so it was about 3:30-ish in the morning, and I got the phone call where my dad was pretty much saying, "Hey, I'm having this severe pain in my chest," and when you said, "and I'm starting to feel it in my arms," that was my cue. I was an Eagle Scout, and growing up around and seeing the first aid standpoint of that, I kind of knew what to recognize when it came to a heart attack. And once he said that was my cue to, okay, we need to get you to a hospital as soon as possible. So the first thing I did is pull up my Tesla app to first see where he was. And after that, I went immediately and looked for the nearest hospital to him, and finding that was Carrollton Medical Center, Tanner Medical Center in Carrollton, Georgia, I sent that to his car. So in the Tesla app, there's a little navigation menu, and in there you can actually type in an address and or a location, and I did, and press navigate. And at that point, that was sent to his car, and it was able to actually turn him around on the highway and get him headed towards the hospital.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
All remotely. So how many miles were you away from your dad when you did this?
I was probably
About 120.
120. So
Okay.
it was I mean, I could have been in I don't know, I could have been in China doing it.
Yeah, well,
so
internet might have been an issue.
Sure, but my point still stands, right?
Yes.
We got the point.
You could be on a VPN in China and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there we go. There we go.
Now,
Or
how
using
far
Starlink.
how far away was the hospital?
So from him, I think the hospital was about 20 to 30 miles. So it wasn't
Less than that.
less than that.
Yeah,
15 miles.
I'd say about 15.
Okay, so it wasn't ridiculously far, but it was definitely exiting the highway and a section of rural highway.
Yep.
So I'm curious now, because you haven't said it. Did you have a heart attack?
I did.
Okay.
I had what they call a massive STEMI heart attack, STEMI, and when they brought the team in, so I got to the hospital. Immediately they do what they do, which is they hook you up and they start you on an IV, and they did blood pressure tests, and immediately they said you're having a heart attack. They gave me nitroglycerin, which at that point I was in so much pain I couldn't speak, but then once they did that I could speak. And then they said, we're bringing the cath team in. So they were able to, it wasn't open heart surgery, but they brought a catheter team that installed 4 stents. So I had 3 arteries at 100% and then one at 95. And for anybody that knows, the LAD was at 95. And
The LAD was at 95? That's the Widowmaker.
That's it. And so I got lucky. I had 5% left. At that point, but they came in. So once they called the team, they came in, and 20 minutes later they had me unblocked. So it happened really fast.
Wow. What a crazy story.
Gosh, that is something. So
There's some interesting details though. So the thing about Tesla is you you've probably seen like early on how like people would, they're driving their Tesla on autopilot and they would jump in the back seat in the car to keep driving. Well, they did away with that with the camera in the in cabin camera where you have to be there in the seat. The seat senses you. The camera's looking at you. You have to be in the seat. So while I'm having this heart attack, I knew that I had to at least somewhat sit up so the camera could capture me being in the right seat and keep my eyes open. So while Jack was dealing with my car, I was dealing with the car keeping it going because otherwise it would have pulled over.
Wow. But, what an amazing story.
Even to think to call your own son instead of 911 or emergency services or something like that, you call your son and he's able to handle it.
Yeah, and I don't know how I just did. That's just what I did.
Yep, and for the majority of that drive, I was pretty much sitting there on the phone like, hey, you still with me? Like,
for sure.
Are you good? Are you still? And all I was receiving were grunts, through the pain of a massive heart attack. But luckily, he was able to make it to the hospital in such a timely manner. And after talking to the, to the medical team there, of course, all the doctors say, hey, in the future, if you're having a heart attack, call 911.
Exactly. I was kind of thinking the same thing.
And I will extend that advice to people that if you're having a heart attack, you should call 911. But in this instance, I think the medical team and myself both agree that he got there in a timely manner. The uncertainty of pulling over and waiting for an ambulance, that in this case, the autonomy did save his life.
Wow, that is just an incredible story.
Really cool.
Oh, man.
Now you still don't want to get in Waymo?
You know what?
It could save your life.
The Tesla. This is a Tesla.
Well, I'm
not
just
a
saying, automated cars.
Okay, well, I might change my mind on a Tesla now. Just saying. But
pretty
not
cool.
on a Waymo. All right, hidden trackers. They are all over. Let me tell you, if you are looking for one on your iPhone, open Find My, and then you want to see items detected with you. And your phone might even flag an unknown AirTag traveling with you. There is a catch. A stalker can pop the speaker out so it never, ever beeps. On Android, you want to open up your settings and look for unknown tracker alerts. If you do find one, you want to loop in the police. Because you don't want to tamper with it, because this way the police have all the evidence that you need. This is actually a tip in my newsletter this past week, and if you didn't get it, you missed out. So make sure that you sign up now for future stuff at getkim.com. I've never had to do this, so it's hard for me to relate to this story.
What?
I'm talking
Say
about
you're sorry? Admit you're wrong? Which one have you never had to do?
Write an online dating profile.
Oh, okay. That's not even what I was even thinking. Okay, gotcha.
Because what would I put, like, America's digital goddess? When I was single, I've been married forever.
Would you put that, if you were single again, would you put your catchphrase on your dating site?
Yes. Could you imagine? So
sign up for the newsletter and you get a first date.
You know what? Don't put it past me, because that's the way it would work.
You'd be crunching the numbers. Oh my gosh! If I go on 1,700 dates this week, and I go on 1,700 next week, we'll cross the $1 million mark.
So, what about you with dating profiles? Are they hard to write?
No, but I didn't put much effort into it. They give you like 4 or 5 prompt questions, and you answer those, and then you just put a couple of sentences. Most people just look at pictures and then move on anyway.
Oh my gosh, I shouldn't say this, but a friend, I'm not going to say who she is.
Okay.
But she went on Hinge 2 days ago, and she sent me a picture of this guy.
Okay.
And and she's stunning. Okay.
And?
She's beautiful.
And he's an uggo?
Yes, with it's not somebody that she would never be with.
You don't want to be mean. You started this story out with, I'm going to trash this guy, and now you're feeling guilty about it.
Yeah, I do, because
he's just looking for love.
I know, and he's he's wearing like white pants. And,
who cares that he's got a unibrow?
and probably several hundred pounds overweight.
Now, did she send it to you saying, look at this loser that tried to friend or
no, she just said,
ask me out?
She said, look at this guy. That's all it was.
That's all you needed.
And then I just wrote her back and said, I like the flamingos on his shirt.
Hey, he's got style.
Well, the reason why I bring up dating profiles is that I guess now there's a big problem because people are using AI to write their profiles. And so when they show up, they're, who they say that they are in their online dating profile is not really who they are because AI may know who they are.
Right. It
So
made them sound way better than they really were.
So it's not just like a photo from 20 years ago.
Right.
It's more like, they sound much more conversational.
But I think if you're in the dating world right now, you have to take all that into consideration.
Yes.
That A, the photos are altered. B, the profile's written by a robot. I mean, that's why people should go out and meet each other. That's how you know.
Yeah. And, those pants really do make your butt look big. Okay.
Whether chat says it or not.
No, they do. Well, there's some do's and don'ts that I found online. So in case I know you're off the market.
I am.
But in case anybody else is looking for love online, we're talking about those do's and don'ts. All right. So do's and don'ts.
Sure.
Saw this at the Associated Press. So it's legitimate.
You ripped this off?
Well, no, I'm telling you, it's from the story that I read. Because I thought it was kind of comical. Do ask AI for profile feedback.
Okay, yeah.
Captain Obvious.
And not rewriting it, but saying, hey, you may not want to say that you're a serial killer.
Leave that for the third date.
Exactly. That's way farther in the relationship.
Brainstorm first date ideas.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This was written by AI,
Okay.
just so you know.
Okay. Now the don'ts. Okay. Don't let AI write your messages. When you show up on the date, you need to be you, not the AI bot.
I'm trying to think. I think I did ask AI to answer, but I did it more for fun. I needed the help.
Don't let AI edit the photos.
No, but that's happening.
Okay.
Every single person has edited or they're at that very flattering angle.
Yes. And then AI is a people pleaser. So it's going to say that you're right every single time. So what's the worst thing you've ever done on a date?
On a date? Well, I went on a second date and I could tell halfway through the date that she was way more into me than I was her. And
because you're so incredibly good looking.
No, that's come on, and I was not. One of the main reasons why in my entire life, I love doing puzzle rooms. Do you know what a puzzle room is, right? I love doing them. I never lost in my life. And I took her on a second date to a puzzle room and I didn't want to take over and be overbearing. She couldn't do anything and we were going to lose. And I was so mad.
You're like, just let me get in here for just a sec.
And we were in the parking lot. I could tell she wanted to have some sort of goodbye and I fist pounded her and walked away.
Oh,
yeah. That's probably the worst thing I ever did on a date.
Okay. Mine, you want to hear mine? Mm-hmm. Okay. I was dating this guy who's worth a lot of money.
Okay.
And I was going to break up with him because I was starting to date Barry.
Oh, okay.
So we went to Houston's and we were sitting there and I was explaining to him, I said, listen, I met somebody else, not really into you anymore. And, I'm really going to.
You did all this in person?
Yes.
All right. That's very kind.
And I said, so I'm going to be, because I want to date Barry. And he goes, what is the problem? And I said, what do you mean? He said, looked at me, he goes, I do not have a problem. I do not have a problem with that. And he said, here's what we can do is that I will continue to live on the west wing of my home. You could move in on the east wing of the home. And you can continue to date Barry. And if we get married, that's would be fine with me too. And I looked at him and I was like, this is why I remember saying to him, this is why you and I are so not compatible. You have like no emotions.
He just wanted you to be his partner sometimes? Like, what was his plan?
Yeah.
A throuple? Were you going to be in a throuple?
No, he just said I could just do my own thing over there.
What does he gain?
Me.
Oh, but you're with Barry.
But I could be with him too, he said.
All right.
And so I said, you know what? I said, I have to go to the bathroom.
You ditched him?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, what was I going to do? Go back and go, all right, so let's look at it.
How big is the East Wing?
Yeah, just saying.
Does it come with a car?
And an expense account? Just
right.
Wondering. Because after all, that was before I became the digital goddess, Kim
Which she would
Komando.
put on her dating profile.
I would absolutely 1,000%. And you just tapped into the biggest, the best, the award-winning show about all things digital. And joining me is Andrew Babinski, our co-host. And you can find us everywhere, right, Andrew? Wherever you get your podcasts, radio stations over 420 from coast to coast.
YouTube.
We love that.
YouTube.com/Kim Kim Komando. Go ahead and subscribe. We appreciate it.
So there's a story that is trending right now. Her name is Kat Vaughn in Roanoke, Virginia. She was walking her 2 kids home from the park, and she found a housewarming gift on her front yard. A Flock Raven audio pole.
What now?
A Flock Raven audio pole. It
like
was
a boom mic?
on a pole, yeah. It was the public strip between her lawn and the street. A couple of ears from her front door. The Raven is a solar-powered mic that listens for gunfire.
Okay.
Records in short bursts. The AI decides if it's actually a gunshot. Pings police 60 seconds or less. Flock says it only wakes up for specific events. It also listens for human distress,
Okay.
like screaming. And then once it trips, it can switch on nearby Flock plate reading cameras.
So this is like in company with the Flock cameras.
Exactly. And so she called the cops, and the cops were like, we don't know what it is.
They didn't know?
No.
It's a tool they're using and they didn't even know what it was?
That's what I thought was so interesting.
But now you said it was on the public side, so they must have a deal with the city and they're allowed to install them there.
And there's 75 of them. That's in Roanoke.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No. But, on the good news, I mean, on the plus side, this is great for law enforcement.
But she obviously feels like this is an invasion of her privacy. And when you're at home, you're not in public. You're in private. You have privacy. I would just get an audio recording of gunshots and just play it on a loop nonstop until they took that thing out in front of my yard.
Would you really?
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy when you think about it, because it's not just recording.
No, it only listens for gunshots and human distress and every conversation you're ever having.
Have you heard about the new app called Food Never Comes? Mm-mm. This is really crazy. So let's say, you're hungry and you're stressed out. So you open a food delivery app and you're like, wow, I would really like that Kung Pao chicken. Okay. White meat only, no MSG.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yes. And so you go through the whole order process, even ordering like extra hot mustard.
Right.
And of course you want chopsticks. And then you close the app. Because you just had the feeling, you just got the dopamine.
Which I don't understand. Are people that gullible that they can trick themselves into thinking that they're ordering this food?
I thought that was so weird. I mean, the only time I order food online is when I'm hungry.
It's like one of those casino apps that's not for real money.
Yes.
Do people get the same excitement that they would if they were standing there in front of a real blackjack table?
I guess.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But this would never work for me. I would never go, oh, I really want, an In-N-Out burger. Go on there, pretend to order it, and be satisfied.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. I really want the burger. Okay.
They're going to come out one of this for couples when it has to do with sex.
Yeah, for sure.
Just go on the app. A couple clicks later, you'll be satisfied.
They don't need to do anything.
Don't worry about it, Roger.
Roger. All right. So Hyundai and Kia, they have new technology that they hope to put into every car. Have you heard about this? Mm-hmm. It's the Plasma Care UVC system. It's far ultraviolet light that kills bacteria and viruses inside the car. It looks like a disco club, rave club on the inside.
Well, remember during COVID, they were selling those boxes, those UV boxes that you're supposed to put your phone in?
Yeah, nobody ever did.
I remember, though, I went to Fry's like 2 years after COVID was over, and they had a pyramid of these things for sale for like 99 cents. They just needed to get rid of them.
I think it was called the phone soap.
Is that what it was?
I think one of them, that's what it was called.
But does it actually work?
Well, the thing reason why I bring it up is I think it would be really interesting is that, it says that it zaps 99% of pneumonia bacteria in 30 seconds. That would be really cool if this was in a rideshare vehicle.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, a lot of people will use those cars for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you could actually put that tech in a rideshare, I think it'd be something. Because then if you run it twice, it'll wipe out 199.8%.
That's how it works.
Of all the viruses.
That's definitely how it works.
That's science.
Math and science combined.
Yes, stick with us for math and science tips. Hey, if you haven't already, join a million folks who get our free 5-star rated newsletter every single morning. You'll be tech smart at getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. Let's take some phone calls, Andrew. And first up, we have Dina in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who I understand you are, like me, a boater.
Well, I had a friend that had a boat, but I'll tell you, if every time I sign up for that newsletter, if I called you every time I used something that you used, I'd be on here every day. I have used everywhere from backup to the shortcuts to using the SOS on my phone.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Could be like, oh, God, Dina again.
I know, Dina again. Yes. Well, we had some friends, and this is why I love the newsletter. I read it every morning. It's part of my daily routine, and I use it. And we had some friends that took, there were 6 of us, 5 girls, a guy, and a dog. So there were really 7 people because the dog thinks he's a people.
Of course.
And we were out on their newer pontoon boat. They had only used it twice, and we were up having a good old time. On the way back, it was a little miscalculations, and we ran out of gas.
Oh.
In the middle of a big river between Pennsylvania and New York somewhere. And so we're all sitting there trying to figure out what to do, and, of course, you go to try to call on your phones, and there's no service there, none. And we had 5 iPhones and 1 Android, which was me. And I remembered from your newsletter that there's an SOS. So everybody finding their SOS on their phone, and we all started calling. And it didn't go through. Till we found out sometimes you have to stand up on the chair and put your arm in the air like victory to dial. So we all have our arms in the air waving, and we finally connected to some kind of emergency service who called the fire department. And 2 hours later, these little 12-year-old firemen, I think there were 12, came and rescued us and pulled us into shore. We had a great time, but without that SOS, we would have been SOS.
Yeah. There's emergency SOS uses satellite.
Okay.
So if were there mountains around? Or hills?
There was a few mountains, yeah, lots of hills, yes.
Okay, so
and there was, yeah.
So that's where, so your iPhone will actually say, move in a direction so I can try to find the satellite signal. And so, but like on your Android, you could press the side button 5 times, and that's where you configure the emergency SOS. And your iPhone, you're going to drag the emergency SOS slider. But it really is amazing. So you said, how long did it take for them to help you? 2 hours?
About 2 hours we were sitting there after we connected to somebody. And they were great on the phone. They made sure everybody was okay and the dog was okay. And, but it was only about a 2-hour wait. But other than that, I don't know how because it was too far to swim.
Yeah, because,
some other boaters.
Yeah, think about if you didn't have the SOS. What would you have done? Okay, all right, everybody pull out an oar.
Yeah, I saw the movie Castaway. I know what you've done. You become best friends with a volleyball.
Right. Well, now he does carry an extra can of gas on that boat all the time now.
Thank you.
And we all know where the SOS is. It's kind of like our signal now.
Now, is there you don't have an emergency radio on board, called Channel 16?
I guess they don't. They might now.
That's a good gift.
I will write that down along with all the other notes I wrote down while on hold.
That is a good gift. I have one in my boat, and it's a universal radio, and you just put it on. But on Channel 16, if you need any help, that's the Coast Guard. You just say, here we are. Now, the downside is you have to listen to everybody else who needs help. But,
yeah, they're not important. Can Kim get her own channel? Channel 16B, please?
16K, please.
I'm sorry.
That's what it would be. Well, Dina, thank you so much for your kind words about the newsletter. Boy, if that's not a good reason for you to get the newsletter, we saved a life right there.
Seriously,
6
and a
lives.
dog.
And a dog. That's right. Because of AI, translation on our phones has really gotten amazing. I needed to speak to somebody who spoke Spanish last week. And this person knew absolutely no English.
Okay.
And it was like, I put in my AirPods, and I held both of them because translation's built in on my AirPods and not on not on the Raycons, but they're on the AirPods. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I could hear him Spanish, and it just translated automatically.
But how did you communicate it back?
That was the problem. Because then you have to actually have your phone.
Right, to type it out and then that person can read it.
But I was really impressed about how quickly it does. So if you haven't tried this lately, live translation is built inside messages, FaceTime, and one-to-one phone calls, and also in conversations. And then there's the Translate app that you want to use, Google Translate. Just know that there's a lot of different options right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rob in Austin, Texas. Hello there, Rob.
Hello, Kim. Thank you for letting me visit with you. My wife's going to be so excited. She's been a loyal listener for many years, and she likes it when I have enough sense to ask for help.
Except for directions. You still have that issue.
That's correct. The problem is we've got a bunch of stuff, and I need to make some inventories. Some of it for insurance, some of it just to be able to get the history of, this furniture came from here, and I can do that with either a Word table or Excel. My headache is getting a picture attached to it without having to go through 15 steps of taking it, downloading it to the computer, then trying to find it. And
now, what kind of stuff are you doing inventory of?
Well, we've got a lot of art.
Okay.
And we have some furniture. We've got a lot of old coins. Just a wide variety of things.
Okay. Here's how I would do it. I would put ChatGPT on my phone, the app.
Okay.
And then I would put it into voice mode. And I would say, I'm going to show you different things in my home. I want you to put together a report of everything that I'm showing you. And give me estimated values. And then also in the fields, like you want where it's located in your house, because then you could say this is in the living room on the north wall or whatever. Notes about the photo, notes about whatever that painting is or whatever that piece of art is. And so you could do this like real time as you're walking around. The other thing that you could do is you could just take pictures of everything and then load all those pictures into, say, like a folder on a Google Drive. And then you can have ChatGPT, you can tell ChatGPT, like, access this Google Drive, look at all these photos, and then come up with a list of everything that, you know, where it's located, like, anything that you want to know about whatever that item is.
Would you even be able to say anything that I would need to claim in an insurance claim?
100%.
Yeah.
Good point. And then you could also say to ChatGPT, go look on what has sold on eBay, not the for sale listing, the sold listings, and then see if you can give me an estimated value of this, or look anywhere on the internet. Because like right now I'm looking for, it's called, if anybody has one, I will pay you for this. It's a Columbine chair from Restoration Hardware that's 6 years old. I need one more.
To complete your set.
Yes, I complete my set.
And they don't make it anymore?
No. So every morning, ChatGPT goes out and combs like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Etsy, eBay.
No luck yet?
No luck yet.
Have you ever used that feature on ChatGPT to successfully find something?
Not yet, but I have hope.
Okay.
I have hope. So that's one way that you can do this, Rob. The other one is that you can have an app. One's called Sortly. An app that you can use on your phone that would basically do the same thing. The insurance regulators have something called the NAIC app, and that's free. And Sortly, there's probably some monthly fee associated with that. But you would be really surprised about, which we have this tip on the site about how to use AI to do a home inventory for insurance purposes, like you mentioned, Andrew, or just in case there's a fire or whatever it may be, that you know exactly what you have inside your house. So does that?
All of that is needed, and one of the things that I do, because like a lot of the artwork came from my mother-in-law or my sisters or something like that, so would I be able to then go back in and amend to say?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, GPT wouldn't know about, but
but you could.
I want to know about.
But you could do like a field that say, on the charts, they give me a field that says personal notes, and so that's where you put all that in.
Okay.
And so, but take a look. Go to Komando.com and search for like home inventory, and then I think that app will come up with you.
And then you can tell ChatGPT any of the art from your mother-in-law decrease the value by 80%, so she doesn't think she gave you anything worth anything.
Oh, Oh, no, I think my kids will put even higher value on it.
So much for that idea there,
Sorry,
Andrew.
I tried.
Gosh, darn it. And see, and that's one of the great uses that a lot of people don't realize you can use with AI. You see this fabulous outfit I have on right now?
Right.
See this white shirt with the blue cashmere vest and the cargo pants and the sneakers? I didn't put this together. Chat did.
No, you're kidding.
I know.
This is the, I think, second show in a row ChatGPT has told you to wear blue on blue. It really likes you in blue.
It does like me on blue. Takes out, picks up my eyes.
Yes, your blue eyes.
Do you have any idea how much you're worth? Net worth?
Net value?
Yeah.
Sure. It's not that high. It's not a lot to count.
Well, I mean, if you had a lot of stocks
Right.
and EFTs or crypto, and you are really wanting to watch all your money, Google just came out with something free. It's called Google Finance. Okay, let's call it Google Finance.
Where did they possibly come up with
I'm
that name?
not sure. But if you go to google.com/finance/beta, that's what I want you to do, is to look at the testing version. Because what you can do is say, I have 20 shares of Apple, 10 shares of NVIDIA, $2,000 in Ethereum, and then create a portfolio tracker for these holders. It will show your daily change, percentage change, and news, maps out the tickers, and gives you the account numbers. You can set a morning briefing based on, and you'd automatically get a notification on changes. And yes, Google's getting everything.
Yeah, you're just telling them how much money you have so then they can tell people that they sell advertising to, this guy's got a lot of money or this guy's got no money.
And then you also have AI telling you, like, what are the movers and shakers, which may not be the best case. So, but what I like about it is that you can look at it and in one place you see everything.
But
So if you've got money in, like, if you've got like a 401k in Fidelity, and
Right.
you've got stock in E-Trade, and then you've got money in Morgan Stanley,
you're volunteering way too much personal financial information with this.
It's
That's
a
why they
lot.
put it together.
They were just trying to be helpful.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies, Google. I should have not had any negative thoughts.
In case you want to check it out, it's at google.com/finance/beta, which is the testing version. But if you're ever putting like sensitive information inside of a chatbot, you want to use what's called temporary chat. Now, it's really simple. You can just click the button and it will say temporary chat, or you can go in your settings and say this is all temporary. Now, the whole idea is that whatever you put in that temporary chat is not tied to the memory about you.
It's still recorded by the chatbot. It's just not going to be connected to you.
Exactly. So
Okay.
if you're going to be uploading like sensitive medical records, or you want to talk about relationships, which I saw a stat that said something like 70% of all people are going online talking about relationships.
With their chatbot?
Yeah. Do you ever do that?
No.
I don't either.
Lisa's got this thing, and she's just stealing my phone, and then she goes on.
Oh, I love this. I love she does this.
We had no kids for the beginning of this week, so she had tons of free time, and she just goes on there and she tells ChatGPT of these awful things that I'm doing. And ChatGPT is spitting out this real advice to give her.
Give me one that she did this week.
That this week we went to a restaurant, and at the restaurant I spit in her face, broke up with her, and ran off to Mexico with the waitress. And she needs to know what we since we live together, what she needs to do. And Chad is consoling her. And then I have to grab the phone back and say, that's all a lie. Don't believe anything she says. And she's sitting in the corner of the couch laughing.
That's going to be on your record somewhere.
There's so much.
It's like-
ChatGPT thinks I'm a serial cheater.
Just wait till your Amazon recommendations list.
Exactly.
A suitcase for Mexico?
A book on how to cover up an affair. Oh, it's so annoying.
Maddie in Greenwich, Connecticut. Hi there, Maddie. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us today.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
So what's going on?
So you are our family's go-to tech expert, so I knew that you were just the person to reach out to settle this debate. But I was shopping on Amazon and looking at the review photos for a new rug, and I stumbled upon a photo of a dog that looks exactly like our family's dog. And so we're curious, is this just a genuine coincidence? And is he not quite as unique as we thought he was? Or is this potentially an AI advertisement?
So what kind of dog do you have?
So he's a rescue, which makes him one of a kind. And since his background is a mystery, there aren't many dogs that look exactly like him.
Mm-hmm. And so
he's a little terrier.
So which side are you leaning towards?
I'm not sure. At first, I wanted to think it's a coincidence, but the more I look at it, the more it looks like him, and then I get convinced that it could be AI.
Now, this was in the reviews, so that means that a user who bought the product, used the product, and then took a picture to post a review is the one that would have made the AI image?
I'm not sure.
Okay. But was the picture in the description of the product or in the review section?
In the reviews. Which section was it in?
In the review section.
Oh.
See, I would lean towards AI since it was there because people get paid to do AI reviews. They get sent the product for free in exchange for a review. They need a picture. They probably don't even own a dog. And they found a picture of her dog and made an AI picture of it using the product.
What you can do is put that picture but you have to go to each one, like OpenAI/verify. And then that's where you can see if that picture is made by OpenAI, or you can just upload that picture like that you have on Amazon, Maddie, and then a picture of your dog and say, are these two dogs the same?
Okay.
That's interesting.
I'll have to give it a try.
Does Verify work with a screenshot? Because that's most likely how you would get that picture. It would, okay.
Yeah, and then Google has the same tool. Gemini does too.
Okay.
You can say, was this made with Gemini? Okay, of course it was made with Bing. You're out of luck. But then...
I don't make pictures.
That's awful.
I barely know how to search. Bing.
I'm sorry, Maddie, that you had to listen to that. Stop that.
Sorry.
Oh, so annoying. You know what? Can you try that? And was that review a 5-star or a 3-star review?
Let me see. It was a 5-star review.
Oh, yeah. Now it's getting a little bit more that somebody stole a picture of your puppy.
Oh, no.
Yes. And you're not even getting paid for it.
No. But was it a picture of your dog in a scenario that you recognize, or did they just take your dog and add it to another scene?
It looks like it was taken and added to another scene.
Which is so easy to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, that's just, and that sounds like somebody, it's probably, a verified review that's fake.
I don't know if I've told you this story. It's kind of similar. This just reminds me. I was in line at Safeway, and at the end of the aisle, they have a bucket where they collect money. And it was like, can you help this little girl? She has ALS or something like that.
I remember this. Yeah.
I told you this story. And the guy behind me was standing there just dumbfounded. Or he was in front of me. And the woman's like, are you going to pay, sir? Go ahead and scan your card. And he's like, that's my daughter. The girl on the collection bin they stole from Facebook, and it was a picture of his daughter. Not only did she not have ALS, she was not sick.
That's terrible.
It was a total scam.
But I'll tell you, with that dog, that's a rough way to find out you have a doppelganger.
Thank goodness we got back to that joke. I'm so sorry for taking us in the opposite direction.
I was waiting for that.
You
waited
were.
all
You weren't even
show for
listening to
that.
me.
I was. I'm like, just okay, whatever. I heard the story. Move
Wrap
on.
it up. I got a great dog joke.
Roy in Los Angeles, California. I understand that we know your voice, sir.
You do. How do you know my voice?
From GPSs, right?
Well, if you recognize it from that, then you must have had one of the very first GPS in-car navigation devices.
Which cars? Which one were you the voice of?
Well, let me back up. Kim, I want to say first that I'm a huge fan. I started reading your columns back when the newspapers were being delivered in the driveway.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then radio, and then podcast, and then now the newsletter, and I learn something new every single day. Honestly.
Yeah. We all love Kim.
So,
which GPS were you the voice
Andrew,
of?
I like you too. You're a great site. Yeah, I do. I really do. But today I learned something new. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday, Kim.
Oh, thank you, Roy. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
so how many well, so what were you the GPS for which one?
Okay, we need to back up a little bit.
Okay.
So I've been doing voiceovers for, I don't know, years. And I was doing, back in 1997, I was doing some voiceover work for Disney here in LA. And afterwards, the producer was saying, hey, listen, I just heard about an audition down in Burbank you might want to be interested in. So what's the gig? He says, all I know is they want you to read street names. I said, okay, I can handle that. So I got a number, called them. Following week, I ended up at a studio in Burbank with about 10 other people, male and female. And we all read street names. So went home, didn't think about it. A couple of weeks later, I got a phone call. Hey, we've chosen you as our talent. I said, cool. What's it all about? Come on down, talk about it. So this is 1997, and this company out here and outside of Los Angeles in Monrovia, California, had developed an in-car navigation system that was strictly voice recognizable. There was no map. There was no, you never looked up. The whole idea was you speak to it and it speaks back to you.
Okay, now I have to interrupt you just right there because up until this point, I think every car, including mine in Los Angeles County, had a Thomas guide in the front seat.
I had one. I lived with one of those.
Yeah, everybody.
Front or back seat.
Everybody had a Thomas guide. Okay, all right. So you went there and you were named. It was like Olympic Boulevard, Santa Monica Boulevard,
exactly.
Beverly Drive.
And actually, okay. So well, it was actually more condensed than that. They were down to utterances. So each the and drive and street and all that was all separately read, and it's read in an inflection at the end so that once the group of it ended up being a fairly good-sized group, 15, 20 people, were actually putting the sentences together and made this entire speech recognition device very, very, very cool. It was just very cool at the time. So it went on for 10 years.
Wow.
So I recorded probably more than 5 million utterances in a 10-year period. And that piece of history, voiceover history, really does not exist because I actually went to ChatGPT recently and asked about it. They had information on the company, but they had no information about who actually voiced all these
that's
utterances. Cool. Yeah. So
did you make a lot of money at that?
To it.
Right.
Over the time that I was doing it, there was some good money because what happened was at some point the company, there was some turmoil in the management and the guy who owned the patent and the guy who managed the company. And so the company split off. And at one point, I was actually working for two different companies competing with each other.
Nice.
And so I got, it was a nice, for a while there.
Now you're also doing work for Disney. Is that right now?
At that time I was doing work for Disney. It was a whole different thing. But right now I do some Disney work. Yes, I do some Disney work. But it's maybe not what you think. If you were to go on the rides at Disneyland, Disney World, some of those rides at some of their parks, they have like 12 different parks. Say Guardians of the Galaxy in Disneyland. If that particular ride happens to break down and you're sitting in your seat, you'll hear my soothing voice say something to the effect of, please stay in your seats. We're having technical difficulties. So I calm people down.
Sit your butt back down. That would be me.
Where do you think you're going? Hey, stupid.
Hey, dummy, come on back. If you get hurt, don't
really
be.
fun-
If you get hurt, our lawyers don't
yeah.
want to hear from you.
Yeah. Well, at least on that one, you can't talk back to it. So, on the GPS ones, people talking back, and and the original one was you had to actually very slow process where you had to spell out the street name where you were before GPS. This is the original versions did not have a GPS, so it didn't care where your car was, but it told you, it wanted to know where you were, where you're starting from, say, Foothill Boulevard, and then where you wanted to go. And then it'll be step-by-step directions from that point on. But, so later on it became a GPS device as well. And they were all on discs, CD-ROMs. So every part of the country
I remember that.
came in a disc.
Yeah. I wonder if I don't want to give you his name, but I actually know one of the inventors of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You'd have like a hockey puck that would connect to your laptop. If we're talking about the same thing, Roy, it's a hockey puck that you would connect to your laptop. You put in the CD-ROM, and then it would give you directions on your laptop screen.
Oh, crazy.
Yes.
I remember that in the car, though, where you had to be like, destination. And then the car's like, I don't understand what you're saying. Destination. I don't understand what you're saying.
Siri is still like that today.
That's true.
Okay.
Touche.
Yeah.
So Roy, what do you think? Do you think anybody's going to clone your voice now to use it?
If anybody's going to clone my voice,
well, because if you had 5 million year old GPS voice, it'd be funny if somebody tried to clone his voice to come out with a brand new one.
Oh yeah, AI is going to be ripping off that voice anytime soon.
Yeah, I think if there's any, I have a usable working unit in my garage that
that's awesome.
It's just in a box, so I have one with some of the discs. But one of the things that came out of this is I kept a list of some very bizarre street names, some very weird street cities. I did street points of interest, and I don't know. Some of these are pretty funny.
Like turn left at the world's largest sports bra.
He doesn't have that one.
No, I don't have that one. But I have some street names called Roachtown, in Harry Lemon's Boulevard. There's three of them: Damn if I will, Damn if I know, and Damn if I care, and it's all written in one word.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Long and Winding. There's a Beatles. Long and Winding, Sergeant Pepper, and Eleanor Rigby are three street names somewhere.
That's really amazing that you have just one last question, Roy, before you go.
Yeah.
If your family ever asks you for like directions, do you get into like that GPS voice?
Are you kidding? They don't ask me for directions. No. And but the most important thing, Kim, is I never ask for directions.
Well, of course, you're a guy.
Of course
you're not going to ask directions.
We'll get there when we get there.
I mean, I had to take my husband to an appointment the other day, and I got directions. I put it right on. Barry's like, "Don't you know how to get there?" I said, "Yeah, but it gives me like a speed light camera warnings and everything else."
I do the same thing going home every single time, know where I'm at. I want to know if there's traffic. I want all that.
I always like to keep people up to date on what the next wave of technology is.
Oh, I'm interested.
And this is like one of these things that you're going to want to talk to the kids about. You're going to ask them this question I'm going to be asking you, and then they're going to look at you and go, "You are amazing."
I like to be called amazing. I'm ready.
Okay. So we have Meta glasses. Okay. You love them?
Nope. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to pick mine up from California this coming week. So next show, I'm going to actually be wearing them.
Okay.
I'm going to try them out. What's happening now is everybody is racing to get rid of the glasses. And they want to put contact lenses in our eyes with computer screens built in.
I mean, you see this in a lot of sci-fi movies. This is, the future.
And it already exists. Now, one company's CEO popped a working augmented reality lens right into his own eyeball and then watched as a display like floated right above him. Because, why would you need to wear glasses if you could put the contact lens in?
How do you get power to them?
That is an issue. And there are also other issues.
I don't have to have a charging cable coming out of the side of my eye, do I?
They're coming up with ways to get around that.
Okay.
But why isn't it on your eyes yet? Okay. There's a couple of issues.
Okay.
That might be there. Because these working AR glasses, they are already in the labs. Okay. I'm going to give you a choice of 3 answers.
Sure.
Okay. Number 1, the screen is too blurry to read anything.
Okay.
2, doctors say it's actually going to wreck your vision because it sits on your cornea.
I would believe that could be the answer.
Or number 3, blinking keeps accidentally closing all the apps. Okay, so the screens are already working. And let me see, what were those options again? Do you remember what the options were?
Number C was blinking closes the apps. B was that doctors say it's going to be dangerous. Mm-hmm. And then I forgot A.
Oh, let me go back here. Let me see. A is the screen's too blurry to really read anything.
Yeah, that was written by AI. I'm going with B.
Okay, you were actually correct.
Oh.
Okay.
Look at that.
No, not in that answer when you mentioned power.
Oh.
But I didn't, because you gave away the answer in the reveal. So I had to work with it.
You had to wing it?
Yeah, so all those 3 are wrong. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, because it's really power.
I feel awful.
Okay. But this is where it gets interesting. Well, how much does each lens sip in electricity?
Sip? Oh, I have no idea.
Okay. Mojo Vision built a tiny display that sips 1 to 3 microwatts.
I don't even understand what that means. We were looking up how much a refrigerator uses in a year. And, SRP spit out the answer. I didn't understand it. I don't know if it was a lot or a little or what.
Is it $50 or $500?
Right.
That's all
Just
we want to know.
let me know.
Okay. But here's the deal. Mojo's contact lenses, they needed to have a processor worn around your neck. Plus, you have to have a hat on with an antenna.
Honey, have you seen my contact lens hat?
Now, that's progress over eyeglasses.
Sure. These are going to catch on. You're right. This is the future of technology.
You imagine walking through the airport with this power pack around your neck and a hat on, and you're going to be like, the hell's wrong with that guy?
And why does he have red eyes?
Okay, so now we have another company who they say they have come up with an answer. Expansio, it's a $1 billion company. This is legit. You have a little device worn over your ear that beams power to the lens wirelessly.
No, okay. I'm not running power through my brain to my eyes. No, thank you.
They say it's the first all-in-one lens, screen and sensor, all powered together, targeted for an early 2027 reveal. So that's the real eyeball computer.
You running power from the back of your head to your eyeball?
No, thank you.
Absolutely not.
I'm going to have a contactless journey right there.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Sorry for spoiling it for you, Kim.
You know what? But it worked. Especially because, if you didn't have like the hat with the antenna.
Right. All you got to do is wear these boots and this entire suit.
But I'm like you. I'm not beaming any type of electricity through my brain to my eyeball.
Ain't happening.
And after all, I'm Kim Komando. Welcome. That's Andrew Babinski. It's the nation's largest, biggest, best award-winning show about all things digital. We're so glad that you're here. You can find us as a podcast everywhere. And just a reminder that you also want to tap into us on YouTube at youtube.com/Kim Komando. youtube.com/Kim Komando. Here's something that you don't talk about very often. So Ford has this great idea. They say we've got 350, they call them graybeards.
Okay.
Engineers. And 3 years ago, they say, we don't need them because we are going to use AI.
Oh.
Okay. And you still drive a Ford?
No, I moved over to Suburban.
Oh, okay. And so...
but I love Fords. I love the Excursion. I love the F-150.
And so what happened is that when they got rid of all the engineers, the graybeards is that Ford was having, I'd have to look it up. They led the country in recalls. They had 152 recalls. It smashed an all-time record. Listen to this. More than half of every vehicle recalled in the United States in 2025 was a Ford.
So the person that decided, they probably went in front of the board and said, I got this great idea.
Yes.
We're going to cut 300 people, the salaries, the healthcare, the taxes, and we're going to replace them with AI.
It's going to be amazing.
You know how much money we're going to save? We're going to save, let's say, $15 billion.
Yes.
Fast forward 2 years later, the recalls cost us about $25 billion.
So they went back to the 350 graybeards and they said, would you like to come back to work?
They really went and rehired them? They admitted their mistake?
Yep.
Good on them.
Yep. And so now the graybeards are training AI.
Oh, well, it's just temporary.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So they put the robots in the driver's seat. Should have been in the glove box.
Oh, gosh. It's not even a joke. It's not a setup.
Okay. Do you still play Wordle?
Oh, yeah. Of course. We love it.
I stopped playing Wordle. I got kind of bored with it.
Lisa and I, when we're traveling, we have a Wordle Unlimited game, and it keeps track of your record. And we are 200. Now, it's not fair because it's two brains working at one, but we are 283 and 1. We've gotten one wrong in 284 Wordle attempts.
So just the one time you went through all 5 options and you couldn't figure it out?
Right. Just one time.
Oh.
Every other time we got the word correct. But I know it's not fair because you have two people working.
Yeah,
when you have
that's
two people working on the same puzzle, it's a lot better.
I remember I got one on the first try and I texted you the inside.
But then I was like, wow, that's awesome. And then you're like, yeah, I looked it up.
Just saying. Well, researchers have done the math. And they have a strategy that solves the daily puzzle, they say, with a 99% success rate. You're going to nail the answer in 3 guesses. Okay, the secret is pick opening words that knock out the most letters fast. That's pretty simple.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank goodness we have this research.
So what words do you use?
Stair Cloud Pinky is the best. You get the most words knocked out with those 3 words.
Stair, Cloud, and Pinky?
Stair, S-T-A-R-E, Cloud, Pinky.
Oh.
You'll knock out the most letters with those 3 words.
They say you want to use slate, crane, or raise.
It's probably the same combination of letters. But here's the thing. We play on hard mode. So if you put in the word stair and the T turns green, your next guest must have the T in the correct spot. You can't just do Stair Cloud Pinky to get it right. We play in hard mode. Us hardcore Wordles.
I love playing Wordle on the toilet.
Do you now?
Mm-hmm. You empty your vowels and bowels at the same time.
You'll always win me over with a good poop joke, Kim.
So Disney looked at a park full of exhausted families and thought to themselves, we need some robots.
Oh.
So the next upgrade when you go to the park is you're going to have Star Wars droids roaming around with food. So you can buy food from the droids.
That's smart.
That are walking around. It's how an empire starts.
Sure.
Saying. So why are they doing this? Because they want to make the parks feel futuristic enough that you forget that a pretzel costs the same as a mortgage payment.
But think about it, though. If you have a popular ride, you're going to have people standing in that line.
Of course.
For 45 to 60 minutes. That's 45 to 60 minutes that they're not out there spending more money.
Exactly.
This is brilliant. And for the people at Disneyland, they're going to love it. It's hot. It's in the middle of the summer. This droid comes up with hot water and a churro. Heck yeah, I'm buying it.
Churro. Nothing says Disneyland like a hot churro.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't go to Disneyland if you don't know about the churros.
I would never eat a churro.
Oh, you don't. Disneyland people, Disney adults, if you ask them what's the best food at Disneyland, they're going to tell you churro. I promise.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I still would never eat one. I wrote about this for the newsletter about movies that predicted the future. And I did not know this.
Okay.
When Steven Spielberg wanted to make Minority Report, he locked 15 physicists, futurists in a Santa Monica hotel for 3 days and said, dream up the year 2054.
Oh, cool.
And they came up with, obviously, what? Touchless screens, gesture screens.
There weren't even screens. The air was the screen. You just moved your fingers around.
True. Which we're going to have.
Yeah, and then it came up with the drone helicopter, because in the first scene, when they're Minority reporting the guy out of the thing before he does the pre-crime, a drone comes down and picks him up.
facial recognition. Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
What do you think they had? Hoverboards?
Well, they had the hoverboard, of course.
Flat screen TVs.
Holograms.
Yes. Wearable tech.
Video chat. That was in Back to the Future.
That's true. The movie Her. Oh,
yeah. Falling in love with an AI.
I remember seeing that in 2013 and thinking, like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's a good movie. It actually was really good. And the fact that his AI was cheating on him with 1 billion other users.
You had The Net.
Oh, that's like in the 90s.
That was 95. That was more about identity theft.
Okay.
The Truman Show.
Yeah.
Also 98.
Reality TV.
YouTube.
Putting
Streaming.
Putting your entire world online.
Wall-E.
Wall-E.
Okay. My part about Wall-E, which I think of, is like, you remember, like, they have the fat people and they go around. Well, what, you've never seen it?
I've never seen
You
Wall-E.
have to see it. You should see it because it talks about how we are so immersed with screens that we don't move.
Right.
And so we just are sitting in chairs with screens and food's getting delivered to us.
Okay.
I remember seeing that going like, ooh, that like could actually happen.
It could if we all lose our jobs.
I never saw Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. That's where the what's the shoe that they came out with? Crocs.
Did they?
Yeah, and they were making Idiocracy, and it was like a dystopian future where like everybody was the president, and also everybody, there was so much technology, we all became idiots, and they needed a shoe for what an idiot would wear in the future, so they all wore Crocs. And that Crocs took off from that movie.
I took kids to Nordstrom's. And they all wanted Crocs.
And they're like $65.
Stupid
for
money.
Rubber shoes.
Right. And then they all want the little charms to go on them too.
What are they called? They have a name.
I don't know.
Oh, it's going to come to me.
I called it a ripoff.
That's pretty accurate.
Okay. You know, a man brought his dog to the movies.
Did he now?
And the dog laughed at all the funny parts and cried at the sad parts. Amazed, I asked the owner how. He said, I was surprised too because he hated the book. Okay. There's one that you can take with you.
That's a funny one.
Okay.
I'll use that.
They're called gibbets. That's what I've heard.
Gibbets. That's the little charms you put on your overly priced Croc shoe that doesn't look that great.
I think they have the ugliest shoes in mankind.
People love them. But Crocs people love them.
So what'd you buy?
Mova P70.
A what?
Yeah. So last week you talked about that robot that you wanted to get in your house, like $20,000 up front.
Yes.
And then like $500 a month.
That it would do my laundry and do the dishes and everything.
Right. But it's just a human controlling the robot remotely.
Exactly. Yes.
And I told Lisa about that. It freaked her out. And then she's like, well, what about our new robot vacuum? And I was like, oh, yeah, there's cameras on there. But, you know, and what are they going to do? Shoot a bunch of video of our ankles and send it back to China?
Sucking up dirt.
But let me tell you, we got the Mova P70. It is literally one of the coolest things I've ever purchased. I follow this guy on social media, on TikTok, and he's like dad reviews or something. Mm-hmm. And he totally went from reviewing all products to just robot vacuums. He's got like 26 in his home at any given time.
Okay, I have two. I have a Roomba that washes the floor and sucks up, but it's not really good with golden retriever hair.
This is a combination. It does mopping and vacuuming at 2 separate times. It's really cool too, because when it's just going to vacuum, it goes in the dock and it lowers the mop pads so that it can move faster. It's got an extra long arm so it can get...
You're like so excited about
this thing is so great. I literally dragged her out of the bedroom and into the front room. And she's like, what? And I was like, look at these floors. They're so clean. This thing does such a great job. And we have 2 dogs. Well, actually, we have 3 dogs. We have Charlie.
But folks, this is not a commercial or paid endorsement for this.
But it's such a great product.
It's just Andrew's super excited about a robotic vacuum.
We have 3 dogs. We have Charlie, Lady, and then all the hair that Charlie and Lady shed create its own dog that just moves throughout the house.
Yes, it does.
I have it running 3 times a day. It mops, it vacuums, it takes care of all of the hair. It's so smart. I love this thing.
Now, does it spit out the dog hair? Or
yeah, it puts it in the bag.
Does?
This is how much dog hair we had after the first time it vacuumed. The bag was half full. That's how much it picked up on the floors.
Okay, well, you know what? I haven't run my Roomba in a while because I have Cynthia, but I will.
What's not a robot? A human?
A human.
I'm telling you, this is the best. I've had multiple different robot vacuums.
All right, we are going to review it ourselves
You
and put it
should.
inside the Kim Komando Show newsletter.
Come get a quote from me.
Yeah.
This thing is phenomenal.
Tracy in sales.
Yeah, MOVA.
I see an endorsement opportunity. All right, I have a great AI tip. All right, every weekend I have the lingering shame of looking in the garage thinking, I really need to get rid of some of this junk.
Sure.
Do you have the same thing?
Oh, yeah. 80% of my garage is junk.
80?
I literally rented a dumpster, filled it to the brim, had it hauled away, and I still have junk.
What's the worst thing in your garage?
A couch.
It's a big couch, right?
Brielle wants the couch. She doesn't know how she's going to fit it in her room, but we can't get rid of it because she wants it. And it just sits there. Mocks me every day.
Well, here's what you can do is you want to use AI. And you want to pick first a zone, not the whole garage, like a shelf, a bin, a basement corner, whatever it may be. You take one big photo and then close-ups of model numbers, tags, whatever you can find. And then you upload them into your favorite AI and you say, you're a resale pricing analyst. Here's my picture. Create a table, item, condition, photos needed, resale range, confidence, best platform, goes on and on and on. Prioritize things that will sell quickly.
Oh, so you're not throwing it away. You're actually making some money off your junk.
That's what you should be doing.
Anybody want a couch for $5?
She'd kill you, Brielle.
I know she would.
Rick in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Hi there, Rick.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
We're doing great. What's going
Good.
on?
Hi, Andrew. I wanted to say thank you. You made my life I have a, well, first of all, get your newsletters. Listen to all the podcasts, and then your newsletters every day. I take a tip and try to figure out something new to do. But one of your recent tips had convinced me to try something I never dreamt of doing. And I used the Claude and told Claude how great they are and did all the buttering up that you tell us to do.
You are so handsome, Claude. You are amazing.
He absolutely was. And he responded very nicely and said, but I subscribe to a CRM program. I pay a lot for it, and it does fantastic things. And I thought, well, maybe I could just tell Claude I'd like to do one that's simpler, that does what I need without having to have the expense. And over in a very short time, and I don't know anything about programming at all. And
wait. And what CRM were you using? Salesforce?
No, Markate.
Okay.
Right there in Scottsdale, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. It's really, really nice, but it does so much more than I need for my small service business. And I thought, well, maybe I can just have Claude help me make one.
Okay.
And within a month, I had it doing amazing. I mean, every time I use it, I'm just amazed what it does. And I still don't know how to program, but it just is a way for me to track my customers, communicate with my customers, communicate with my techs. My techs can communicate with the customer, communicate with the office, all just a couple of clicks on the app that's been created.
So did you have it create like calendar in Google Drive or spreadsheets or docs, or how did you do that?
Well, I asked for suggestions and then said, well, for what you want to do, a Google app script would be perfect.
Okay.
So it's off of a Google spreadsheet, and it created these scripts. It started out very simple, and then after it made something happen, I thought, well, what if we could do this, and what if we could do that? And it just kept building from there to now. It's just it's absolutely amazing what it does, and that I still don't know how to program, but now I've got this system in place that my techs arrive at the job, they say I'm here, and they don't have to text me. They just push a button on the app, and the customer knows they're on their way.
And none of this lives inside of Claude. It all lives. It's outside of it.
It's all in my Google accounts.
That's awesome.
My Drive, my calendar, my sheets.
And then, how much are you saving?
That's about $550 a year for the program I had at Markate, and it was. And it was a fair price. I wasn't doing it to save money, really.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that, through your tips and stuff, I thought, well, maybe I could do this.
But think about it. If you want an upgrade at any point, it's in your hands. You don't have to wait for the company to add a feature or anything like that. You just go back and upgrade the program from Claude.
100%.
Exactly, and that's how one of the frustrations I had early on getting on with just the commercial CRM, let's call it. It was a struggle to get them to do things that I needed done, like when I was trying to upload my database to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was an amazing amount of work because there's a person somewhere that has to make all these things happen, and that person wasn't cooperative, and it eventually got done. And now when I need to make a change, I just
do it yourself.
Go back to Claude and say, "Hey, what about if we do this?" I said, "Oh,
it's having the confidence, right? I mean, that you could just sit down, and it may not get it 100% correct. And like you said, it took you a month to do this.
Right.
One of the things that I would ask it to do now with Claude is, because now that you have so much invested in this, right?
Yes.
I would go to Claude and say, take a look at everything that we've done, and I want a run book. And a run book will not give you the code, but it will give you the programming structure of everything that it's done.
Yes.
And so, in case a year from now, a year from now, somebody says, well, I wonder if we could do this, this, and this. And then if you have the run book, it makes it a lot easier. Or let's say Claude something happens with that script, right?
Right.
If you have the run book, you can say, here's the run book, recreate it.
Well, and here's what, early on when I was playing with it, it would write the script, and then I'd say we need to do this, and it would say, okay, we'll go to the script and go to somewhere in between line 2,000 and 2,500, there's this thing you got to look for. And I said, can't you just do it? And so then I said, oh, yeah, you're right. Write the script. And so every time a change had to be made, it would just give me the whole script. I would just go to the Google app scripts and select all, paste,
done,
and save, deploy, boom, done.
Now,
it's just been amazing.
What kind of business do you have, Rick? What kind of business is
I have a carpet and upholstery cleaning business is what we do. But it's the other thing that inspired me is, like, I know a million guys like me, these small-time operators that have been trying to get electronic. I mean, they're still using Post-it notes and things like that. And I'm going to give it to a few friends and have them play with it a bit. But as I can imagine, there's a demand for a simple system like this.
Well, that's where you can start getting into selling your app, and and I would go back to Claude and say, how do I put this into a place where where I don't give away my personal details, but I can sell. But there are agent applications and marketplaces, and I'll tell you what, I'll write more about that because that's an interesting topic.
I just love that. Can't you just do it yourself?
I love that too. Rick, thank you for your call and your kind words. I read this story about Brooklyn in Nashville, Tennessee, and she's joining us right now. Because Brooklyn, you did something pretty amazing, and I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was an incredible event that happened.
So take us from the beginning.
Yeah, so basically I was just at the theater on a Sunday night with my grandparents, and we were seeing a comedy movie, Nate Bargatze's movie, and we came out of there, and they were using the restroom, and I was seeing Mary walk by, and I was like, God bless this woman. Like, she should not be working. So I just took a quick video of her, didn't think anything of it, posted it on TikTok with a GoFundMe link, thinking my friends would donate, maybe get $500 if that. And it kind of just blew up, to say the least.
Well, what made you stop and take the video of Mary? Explain what you saw to everybody.
I mean, she was just physically didn't look like she was in a good place. She was hunched over, and it just was, she was an elderly woman. And I was like, being at that age and in that condition, you shouldn't have to work. And I later found out that she actually didn't have any kids or any family. She'd never been married. And so it just kind of solidified my reasoning on why I did that. She's all by herself, and people like that, to be working at that age shouldn't have to.
So are we keeping it a secret? Are we not going to let how much did you raise?
Well, I raised, and everybody else raised, $146,000.
Whoa.
That is something.
That's huge.
And so what was Mary's response?
Well, honestly, she was like, she was surprised, and she was like, Brooklyn, like, can you please stop it? She made me stop it. So this was in 48 hours of 146,000.
That is something.
This was before it was aired on TV and all the news channels too. So she was just shocked, and she was so blessed. Like, she was just so thankful, and I was like, this couldn't have gone to a better person. And it was amazing. Her reaction was so amazing. She was so thankful, and I would do it over and over again, truthfully.
Oh, it was really nice of you to do all that. And just so everybody knows that when you do a GoFundMe, that they'll take about 3% GoFundMe. Well,
yeah.
Of the proceeds. One of the things that you might want to talk to Mary about with all this publicity, Brooklyn, is that, if she gets any phone calls from people, if anybody wants to interview her, make sure that they don't give her, their real number, her real phone number out, and
protect yourself.
Yeah, because a lot of times, because I've heard too many horror stories. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer. That's not me. But sometimes that when people come into this kind of money, and then they get catfished, and they become targets, and so. But Brooklyn, thank you for doing that.
Wait, we let go of Brooklyn?
Yes.
Oh, my knee hurt. I was wondering if she could start one for me. She's
Get
got the
out
power.
of here.
Oh, it's so bad.
Gosh. Oh, okay. Smile. Poses. All right, poses. Oh. Okay, we look up here. We look up there. Yay! Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. This is great.
Andrew, the amount of water in my container is not enough to finish cleanup. Please add water soon.
Please add water soon.
That's my rat vacuum. Texted me.
That's because you're the lonely guy. Here we are. Yes. Okay. I think you got enough, right? Yes.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
What's it called?
P70, MOVA P70. Voice activated. I can say MOVA. Go vacuum the bedroom.
Can you send me a link?
Sure.
Send me the. I'll tell you because I didn't want to say it, but my Roomba sucks.
Roomba's, yeah. This is so smart. It's such a good product.
It's from
got headlights.